Some places, including Kitchener-Waterloo, you're already seeing the rain rolling through. Plenty more along the way. You will have some breaks. It's not going to be an all-out washout. But yeah, we're looking at in the neighborhood of 60+ millimeters of rain. Some areas could even see 100+ millimeters. We've got a couple of systems that are going to be pushing through, including, and this is definitely not the least of it, the remnants of Hurricane Ike. We actually have some video to share with you of what it brought to people in Texas. Now, it made landfall there early this morning in the wee hours, and it sparked massive flooding, sparked some fires as well, and just general chaos for the most part. It made landfall as a Category 2 hurricane. It quickly weakened to a Category 1, and it is expected to become a tropical storm or to be downgraded to that any moment. We're keeping an eye on this. Now, people in Texas are being advised to either boil water or drink bottled water. This is just a precautionary measure. They don't actually believe that the water supply there has been contaminated, but just in case. We'll have more updates on Hurricane Ike and the situation unfolding in Texas south of the border in your weather news at 12 and 42 minutes past the hour. So definitely stick with us for that. Fascinating story. Okay, let's talk about the weather here currently with a quick look at our current fronts. So all that wet weather that's going to be pushing into Ontario and then the rest of eastern Canada associated with this area of low pressure. Now, this was formerly a tropical storm. You may or may not have heard of it. It was named Lowell. And yeah, steady rains even up through the Nickel Belt for later on today. More on that in a moment. Let's talk about central Canada. We have a cold front here, and that is what has given you the thunderstorm activity in and around Red Lake, as well as south of the border in Minnesota. We're seeing some thunderstorm activity, some heavy rain, and yes, there is the possibility, as always, of some large hail developing with this type of system. Let's talk about British Columbia, though. We are seeing some hazy conditions around Tofino, so just coastal sections of the island. We have an area of high pressure in place, and that's what's going to give you, for the next few days, a really glorious forecast. No rain in the forecast for southern BC for the next 48 hours, even beyond. This is the cold front affecting central Canada, a little more cloud cover down towards the border with the U.S. We've got a lot of rain in store for you across southwestern Ontario and chugging along the Highway 401 corridor. For Atlantic Canada, well, for the most part, we have a lot of low cloud through the area, a little bit of drizzle around Yarmouth, and some rain picking up around Stephenville and even Deer Lake. Let's take a quick look. British Columbia. Not a lot to talk about there. In Alberta, again, some fair weather developing, but here's a little bit of active weather to be found. Southern Saskatchewan, areas south of Moose Jaw, seeing a little bit of rain passing through the area. This is not a major weather event. It's just some light showers intensifying to sort of a steadier rain at times. And a quick look ahead at what the weather holds in store for you for this evening. A nice clear night for stargazing. You can thank high pressure for this. Winds will be fairly light. And have a look at that. Not a lot of cloud cover in your forecast. You'll have to make your way over towards Saskatchewan and areas south of the Interlake region to find a little more active weather. So right here along the border of Manitoba as well as northwestern Ontario. And a quick look at this evening. Yeah, a little bit of passing showers. Kenora, Dryden, up towards Pickle Lake. Okay, let's get into your long-range forecast details. We're going to start things off with a look at the overnight period. It's going to be still a rainmaker for southern Ontario as well as eastern sections of the province. So along the Highway 401 corridor, it's going to be slick driving, it looks like. A few breaks here and there, but steadier rains, even up towards the Nickel Belt region. And that pulse of wet weather will remain with you and push into southern Quebec into Sunday, making its way eventually into the Maritime provinces. Right behind that, we have the remnants of Hurricane Ike. It's not going to be a hurricane, not even a tropical storm at that point, but it does have the potential to bring quite a lot of rain in just a few short hours. So around Collingwood and the Kawarthas, you could see in the neighborhood of 100+ millimeters of rain with this weather maker by the time the weekend has rolled through. Monday, it is, of course, the last official week of summer. And you know what? It's going to be unsettled for the Maritime provinces. Much of Atlantic Canada looking at rain and some drizzle. But you know what? Labrador City and areas north of that could even see a little bit of snow. So just be lucky that you're mainly going to be dealing with rain. We're looking at a warm up across the prairie provinces Tuesday and even into Wednesday, and a weak disturbance that's going to bring rain and some light drizzle for the northern prairies, as well as James Bay and Hudson Bay. And the coast is clear for British Columbia. Stay with us.
When Quiznos said farewell to the 5 after 5 deal, we didn't realize how popular it was. So we're welcoming back our delicious lineup of large signature and real deal, perfectly toasted sandwiches for just $5 after 5 p.m. We're also